Hello, hello. Let's get music going. So, looking at the hair, we're going to continue our little hair system here. A few other things I've been thinking about giving a shot. So, when we set the position, UV position, excuse me, what I'd like to do I'm just thinking about hair. Well, so each of these islands is the same. What I'd like to do is make a square. So for each island, right now they're all stacked in one. We want to stack them into smaller squares. This. I think what we do we take whatever number we have. So how many are there? 16. Do something on 27. Divide that by 2. We would get, we'd want 2 plus 1. Or always add 1. Anyway, that would get us 16.5. 13.5. Round up. 14. 5 by 2. 28. Interesting question. And we can always make a square, so we'll just say 14 by 14. Okay. Yeah. Take the number 10, divide by 2, then we make a square of equals length. That's the length. N divided by n divided by 2 equals the length of our square. Okay. So after we take our geometry, we apply the UVs. We're going to do one more little operation, which is we're going to set the position of the geometry to named attribute. Um, be right. We take this vector we named here, and we set it. Okay, so we actually already are moving the geometry around by doing. This for. Why can't I place that position? Do I have to realize the instances? Because, yeah, everything instance. 6 instances here. That's a little annoying. I only want to realize I don't want to just want to send the values back. But we have that, and now we can do named attribute. Okay. So we've taken all of our hair strands and we've placed them, moved them to this square here. They look great. Now what we'd like to do is for each island, so how many islands do we have? We have mesh islands. And so let's say set position again of just this equals 0. So selection, we can offset just that island. Okay, that's how we get this comparison here. So we'll want a repeat zone because we want to do this many times. Except feet for some reason. Okay. Know if I need a cap. Okay. We're going to get an attribute statistic. Take this stat and write. Take the map. That there. That's how many times we're going to do this. So what we do is we take the geometry, take this geo, move it, and we join it with the previous ones. Joining it doesn't make sense. We would have to extract it. Want to separate or delete, really. Delete geometry. Otherwise, we're going to have a memory leak. If this equals, in this case, 0, but not 0, if it's not 0, we delete it. We also need, on the node, a integer we'll call count starts at 0. And we add 1 to it each time we go through. That way, so. So this gives us our selection. Right now we should have just one now. If I view this one. So we have just this one little chunk. Exactly as intended. One little visualize it a bit better. That there. Then now we can set the position, we can scale each of these as much as we want. So, how much do we scale it? That's pretty easy to find. We have the count. We have how many of these, how many we should have right here. And we just divide 1. Divide. Just 1. One called fraction. What's that do? Fraction. Turns the fractional part of it. So if I give it 0.5, it gives 0.5 back, or 1.5 gives 0. Not as useful. Anyway, so this is the amount. What we want to do is scale. I guess we could just vector. If we have position, take a set position, take our position, and we scale it. Good morning, Reyes. Hello. Perfect. Okay. That's multiply by 0.5. Right, we have the max amount of them. Cut it in half, round up, and then we can square it. Guys, should be. Count. Multiply. Cut the count in half. Passing. This is a statistic. Give me the max value of our island count. we want the max value. Yeah. So it'd be 1 divided by this value. It's 2. Assumption, because we're working with square. Okay, anyway, so we scale it down. Of an island index 0. Oh, but 0 you just can't do it. 0 means it never happens. So this is index 1. 0. 0 means it never happens. That means it's on 0, that means it's 2. So this is working. Alright. Now we've got the scaled 1. We need to put them into the grid. For each index, we want to go I guess I could just alternate values, right? 1 0 0 0 1 0 1 1 2 1 2 2 0 0 1 0 1 1 skip. We have to do all of 0. We have to fill out the whole. Then we do the next one. Do the next one. This should actually be kind of easy because we can use count. We have these count values. I'm pretty sure what we can do is we can do X count and Y count. These will be our coordinates. we'll do X and we'll stack up to Y. We'll move over by X, then we'll stack up to Y. We will still just need, we'll call it index count. That's this one. So every time that allows us to move up our selection. This count, this count, this count. Okay. Now on zero, zero, we would set the position. We would offset the position. By this much. So we want to combine XYZ. Offset it that much. We also need to scale that the same way we're scaling this one. Now let's say that this value right here. Now let's just add. Okay, good. So we can see that we're stacking it. For each one, we stack. And then if we did the exact same with our Y value, like that, very cool. But what we want to do is create a condition. So basically, we don't want to increment X count until the Y is past a certain value. In this case, we'll say 4. So we want a comparison. We want to say just greater than. Is Y greater than 4? Okay. And we want to switch that. So if Y is greater than 4, expand this more. We're going to pass along integer. Is greater than 4. Just add 1. If it's not greater than 4, then we just add 1, pass this along. If it's true, set it to 0. Perfect. This comparison is the same switch we need for the other value, which is the index count. That stays the same, but we do add 1 to it every time. For the x, though, we will only add if this is true. So, it's the x count. Good morning, Arctic. Hello. Coordinates start at 0, 0. Every frame, if this is less than 4, but here's see. One. Is add 4. I actually want to do the combo values afterwards. Why? we've created this grid. Whoa. Screaming! Hello, Diggy. Welcome. Now, what we want to know is how square should be. Is this value here? It's the max value divided by 2. Hit me. I went 34, or 34 divided by 2 would be 17. 17, that. By quarter. Since it's division, it's just the scale. If I have 28 of something, if I divide that by 2, it should be, no, it's just 2 lines of 14, not a square. How do I find the square for it? Square root. I want a square root. In my DMs, take a look. Take a little looks. Geometry nodes are too mathy. There's certainly something. But the reality is, everything. Very cool. Is a homemade character or from scratch character? Very well done. Is the blink through a texture or a geometry? Very, very cool. Good work, Diddy. Sniffle. Interesting. I actually want Yeah. Sense. Then we start down here. Question is, how does the scale work? Licensed the mesh from another artist and modified them. It's 2D texture rig. They are for my new game. Now to make them work. Good deal. Well, good luck. That's exciting. That is super exciting. Here, if we have this length, it would be the length divided by the square root. It'd be 1 divided by square. Outside the square, isn't it? Be the max. Could work right. Or is it? By the way, if you save with Control-Alt-S, saves a backup Blender file. If your file is named something 1, it will save as 1, etc. Yeah, these ones, I do have my backup saves on, and then I also make backup saves manually. We should be good. But I suppose... Oh. Already getting... Oh, because these are... Because this is a 1x1 square. Right, and I'm adding 1, so they're actually moving way past it. So it was probably correct what I was doing. But... probably set the position at the end. And do scale. Of the position. That will probably... Actually, then I just need set. Right now, I've made a hair system for these curves, and what we're doing is we're UV mapping them automatically, because this is something that will just save me an insane amount of time, effort. value. There we go. Oh. So just a off. Should be within the that's the max. It should probably be the max. It's what? Three? Would it be? Why would it be three? Okay, so I don't think it's this thing. Or let's not worry about it. Either the max or the square root. Different ways to arrive at the same thing. Well, we know it's offset by square root 5. We divide 1 by the square root. And we multiply that. Wouldn't it just... Would like to... Please. Divided by the square root. Length of the is how many should be there. Okay. A little curious that they're offset on in any way, because I have them filling the whole square to start with, and then I'm scaling them down. This is why. Something about what I'm over here. Just be valued. Why it's a little bit packed. Now we're previewing. Before we made it. This is just setting things to positions. Why would it be? See that. If I were to put in a geometry or a stat, stick here. still offset. Let's try this again and see if that. Does not. 3. That's the attribute. Let's separate it. Select to one. Row. Object. My hair geonodes don't have scaling issue. I make set it. Oh, that is fucked up. That is fucked up. I like that. And this, oh my god, I must have done that. Oh, that's so. Nope. Okay, well, we can move on then. At least we confirmed. All right. It is working. Yeah. Getting it by the square root does seem to. I'm still watching. Welcome to you. Welcome back. I mean, not really welcome. You were here a second ago. Hello again. Oliver. What if we round it? There we go. Perfect. Beautiful. Now we want one more scaling here. This will be margin. Whatever we want the margin to be. Scale. Beautiful. Okay, we are now really spot. Margin. What's the goal again? Now I should be able to get quite close to showing you now. So we did all this set position and stuff. We don't really need to do that. Just to go off it. So we have this hair groom right here. We have this nice hair groom that what we've done is created a GeoNode system so that I can toggle back and forth between the really high poly version of the hair and the low poly version. And these are both derived from these curves we have. And so at any point I can adjust both of them, both the high poly and the low poly, which is super, super helpful for retopology. So then I don't have to adjust anything. It's pretty much good to go all the time. And I've also created a system to unwrap them. Now, the one downside to this unwrapping is that they're all overlapped. You can see how they share the same color at the end. There's a few things I could do. I could normalize the length so that some of them are longer on the UV map than others, but that's a okay situation. What I would really want is to, when I need to bake them, I have to have all the islands separate. And so that's what I was doing just now, is creating another way to UV map where I can actually, if I wanted to, this, and we'll do another store named attribute here. Take this into more. We should be able to take store. To be able to transfer. Store as UV. Oh, I just capture, right? Capture, attribute, position, this. You want to separate this. Want the Z value, just one X and Y. This is stored as a 2D vector on the face corners. Worked. I just straight. Oh, gotcha. Or no. Or that doesn't work. Anyway, so we're trying to get the islands. I want each of these to be on its own, non-overlapping, which is basically what we've done. A little here, if I preview it, you can see this is actually the UV map we have now. Each of these is separate. Should working in terms of storing it. Did I? here. Have to delete, move attribute. Base corner. Back down the face corner UV. Why isn't that working? So spaghetti. Because I realize the instances. Clear the mesh, blah blah blah. Set the position. This is all working just fine. Capture the position. Hello, Popstar. Welcome. For some reason it doesn't want to. It's interesting cuts here. Fine. Really what I'm doing right now. Both these instances are realized. Hey, that's okay. No need to apologize. That all looks fine. I know that all this is working. The issue is just how do I extract the values, send them over. Have our position values. I guess. And hello, Neko. Welcome. We're making some geometry for a hair system right now. We're in spaghetti mode. Once I get this, it's good. So easy. This geometry. So far, it needs some sauce. We've gotten some good results. We've gotten our little strands and we've put them down where we want them. Now we're just trying to get those out, send them. Saying it's all 0. This is not 0. Why does this one have them? Other ones don't. If I store the named attribute now, save. The way to transfer attributes a little easier. The switch working. See the value. Odd about that. Too odd. What if I did something? Oh, okay. Okay, what I could do is actually backing it up a little bit. Before I even get into this little system, I could store named attribute. Call this free UV mapping position. Or free UV position. Be a float, it'll be a vector per point, and it'll just be the position value. storing it. All right, we just have the original. And instead of capturing anything, transfer it, we simply drop this here. Say UV is separate. P values, I know they're probably not going to do anything. Just can't. Oh. Okay. Then, now that we've stored it, we can go ahead and set position back to our named attribute vector of position. Let's do there. All mapped. Is that easy? Was that easy? Okay, this should go up here with this other stuff. Sure, I could break it down a little bit more, be a little concise, but move in at this point. Okay. We do want to add one thing, which is a switch. There. Don't want to switch because when we get here, actually not want to store this as. We're going to call this that way it's a completely separate attribute. And when I duplicate this, mesh this, our own pair, here, attributes have UV1. I could tell, hold up, it already did. Perfect. I have both. Aha! Ha 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 ha! Okay. That is pretty powerful. But funnily enough, I actually do want to switch them. So it should be this first one should be one string one, or actually group input 4. Here. Call this 0 name. That way I can adjust the outside of the node tree. Be a little bit more flexible. Duplicate this, turn this one name. Oh, that's interesting. But it probably stores attributes in the order that we add them, not not in a named order, so let's. Back up. Duplicate and mesh and UV and now when I first call this, I just use but any 2D vector I add to face corners will be read as a UV. That's what it's for. So we get that for free just by making it. I would have to come up with some system to move around. I do want the other UV there first, but I have to, in the order of making things, I have to do. Really what I'd want to do is swap them. I would have some sort of attribute swap, which just like a stupid work. So let's just see what we're taking this, duplicating it, meshing it. Here we've got all our UVs. You can see this overlap one, beautiful. Let's see this non-overlap one, also beautiful. If I duplicate this one. This one. It's the important part. Being able to reorder them afterwards. Little manual. I will want to fix that eventually. That work. Alright, I'm gonna go to the restroom. I'll be right back. Okay. Now we're done with GeoNodes. For now, I will probably be doing more Geo. My goal is to become GeoNode King. Then I will achieve true wizard status. Alright, let's make a backup copy. All this. 13. Hair. System. What's the last? Oh, I want to be able to swap the UV map order automatically. Okay. Oh, there is one final thing, which is just at the very end. It's instances, just in case it instanced again. It does, because I'm recording. Okay. Now for the curves, it's already set to 0, which is awesome. Okay. So on frame 1, I can save this position here. Swap. We'll finish that in a second. But that's frame 1. Frame 2. Fall apart, so. Right, so save that position. So now I have my high and low geo ready to go. These strands of hair, like just a little bit more. The hair curve, select objects, say front. Hello, DM. We just finished making a very fully featured GeoNode system for the hair. We can actually, if I duplicate this, oh, that's the profile. Funny. But so I changed it so we now have a system where I can not only set it up so that they all overlap on the same UV island, UV map. We can also swap it to individual islands now. Down both. Super handy. Now, basically, I never have to worry about unwrapping my ones again. A little bit more to do. We do want to make a displacement system. Just got one commission done for my D&D character. Very happy with the final product. One day might commission an avatar for. Hey, that's super exciting. That's super exciting. What's your D&D character? Very interesting. Very cool. Just encounter another issue. My skin. should be pretty easy, right? For each island, it needs to shoot a ray out. If that ray hits mesh, any of them hit mesh, coil a curve on itself and that'd break it. How do you determine which way it's going to split? One more issue to solve. If I'm doing it to this plate, double check face orientation. Let's see that one. I guess I could do this twice. Take this. This one goes here. This is the normal one. Main curve. The mirrored one is working. This can go. Got our mirrored ones. Look great. Look beautiful. Little bit of, oh, that's just the inside of the curve. Okay. That's the mirror. Subdivision. Hello, Play. Welcome. But this profile curve, it's good. Join together. Do is go X. Okay, beautiful. I don't know why we need to do that. Some sort of artifact of making a curve, but maybe it's the direction. Or take this and I say which direction. Okay, but much better. Now we can go ahead. Get back to Age. Ooh. There's a lot more I can do to really by this. At some point I will. Quite satisfied with what we've got. One more input to add. This will be a Boolean. Switching out vector. Vector called age. Call this age offset. Okay. Now, application. We can select this, say, now we can just toggle this on and off. How cool is that? High poly. We'll still work on the high poly too. Or actually disable it. Set the or displace it. That we can Boolean take high poly, Boolean math, true when at least one is false. I want high poly. Hit true to turn on the low poly. It's easy. Switch again. Just put the high poly here. Boolean. If the high poly's on, that was a shit ton of work. But genuinely, making this system will save me days of work over the course of the hair is hard. Hair is hard to make. By simplifying setup, super easy to do. Okay, 11 right now. I've already messed around with it so much. I'm gonna do that final cut, which is that I do want to reorder our attributes, because it's easier. I know what I want. I don't want to have to. If I can get rid of any manual aspect of this besides arranging the hair curves, we're doing super good. And we're doing exactly what we want to. And I'll even show y'all what simple this is gonna be. Duplicate the hair geo 3 times, and we'll have 3 objects in here, and I just export the other head. But for now, we do need a reorg. UV maps. First, we'll go into it. I think that we will go with the idea we had at the beginning, just to name our UV curve length here, UV. It's here. It's the name of our first UV. One. Upcut. 0 name. That's the order they're actually going to be. Not the order we do things. Order it's going. Go back up one more. Name these so UV map. unmute. Okay. Plug this into a value string. Ugly then. Okay. Okay, so now we can control the attribute names outside. Oh yeah, I'm still looking around for ideas on how to make this hair look better with the fur shape. Hello. Hair's really hard. You know, using a particle system might be a nice way to work. You could just kind of use geometry nodes, paint where you want the fur, and just have like either a shell or something come off the body, the particle. Some shaders, like Warren's Fast Fur Shader, does allow you to actually sculpt the position of the fur and like groom it. Not exactly sure how that works, but know that it has the ability to do that. First things first, we want to take our attributes and we want to store them temporarily. Call this UV, or not just attribute at swap A. And I'll take this one, duplicate at swap B. Move name. Stored A. All of these are 2D corners. First, we make them. You take our named. First is app. Group input. Looks pretty nice in the tools, easy to use once you get used to it. I'm just having a stylistic crisis with my prim hair plus fur, hard fur. You should be able to get something quite similar. A lot of difficulty with hair cards is how they blend with their shading. And in order to avoid that, I use a lot of the data transfer modifiers or adjusting the normals, because that's going to give it a softer look, or you can give it a softer look through that method. So that might be what you're looking to do. first things first. First, we apply the name. We put them into this temporary groups. Temporary groups. And then we'd like to swap them. Then we zero just capture, or I should capture attribute. This goes in here. There. Excuse me. Should just be swap their name. Zero is this one. Swap it to this value. Sweep this. Okay. Pretty simple. Kind of annoying, but kind of annoying to set up this. But we'll call this attribute A. Capture base corner. It's 2 inches. Working there. I don't see anything. Why just the other half? This one. Same. Excuse me. We have given them the same names. All this swap. And that just looks like the UV mapping. Strange for it to break on one, but not. Let's see right. Duplicate and mesh over one's working, should isolate the issue. Because if it's only if main one's working, why? The profile curve. Ah. Something with the U is. Oh. It must. Salute. Because what I do is I flip it. Be one of them. Oh. So let's clarify. This was working before I swapped. So it is something here that's okay. these really quick. Push them. So I think what we need to do is remove the named attributes. Swap them correctly. Difference in any way, shape, or form, but included. Both need to go. Add them back. So UV0 here and leaving it. Swap them. Only this. Scale. It's like they're getting scaled. Okay, so we know for sure that it is the swapping of the attribute causing the. That's fine. That I'm not sure. It feels like a bug to me. Doesn't like the way we're exchanging this info, which is fine. I think that's okay. Excuse me. A little bit unsure, because swapping gonna try it from scratch. Just to confirm, duplicate this and second. It's still broken. Okay, so it's not okay. It's not the swap attributes then. That means it can't be the swap attribute. Deleted it, it's still happening. Something when we scale. That it's the scale. Huh. Maybe let's not scale here. There, scaling it. Something about where I'm doing it. Affecting. Oh, got this. That's why it's only happening on one. Wow, that is hard to debug. Okay. Oh. You work backwards, moving one connection at a time. Maybe you can check where it begins to happen. It's tough because hard to know the symptoms. Because for it to affect just one side means it has to be something along that path. But unintuitive. I just would never have thought the scale elements would have been affecting it. But it makes sense because I was accidentally feeding the wrong parameter in on one of the islands. One of my. So this should be good now. Now when I duplicate my UV maps have broken. Still messed up. But at least it's both of them this time. Nice part is, this is transferable easily. All generic. Good day, hello Snardom. Just in time to wave at the screen before your lunch. Well, hopefully you'll get a kick out of what we're doing here. This should actually swap face corner attribute. Specific. This, call it swap face corner attributes. Just the usual Harry making some fancy transfer system. So we just got to the end of it, but basically the geosystem takes these hair curves as input, and on my system I can swap between high and low poly. I even have a cage baking. I can fill the caps if I want to. I don't need to. But I can swap them, and I can also unwrap them. I can normalize the length. Then I can even if I duplicate this and mesh it, I have a second UV map on the mesh for things that I want to go along the length. So when I bring it into Unity, I can go to a second UV channel to add different details, such as like hair grain or anything really. But it's all ready to go. So now, with any hair I do in the future, it'll be just the one strand, one system. Going pretty well. Yeah. Took me a little bit, especially kind of making the UV islands straight, arranging them correctly. Cool system, good stuff to make me want to spin webs again. I'm really jumping headfirst into nodes. I feel like I have to. I think have to. There's more I'd like to do. I think I could do something where instead of organizing my curves by collections, I could do a name or something. Just in the shift slightly. But probably the merge distance. Anyway, fun stuff. And now I have my exploded version, baked version, and then the other cool thing is that right here we can go with hair high poly. So I can set this one up. High poly hair. There's the high poly hair. Duplicate it. Get low poly. Poly for of course. 8 and got age. Let's turn on. Ooh. Excuse me. Good work, super nice though. By the way, I know this not as you should do this, more of a did you know. At BlenderCon, I talked to someone who does architecture furniture in Blender. He sold his work studios works to AI farmers, so to say, training AI on my work kind of thing. Think was coming in way, might as well make some cash off these changes. I swim in 3D. Interesting. I wonder how much he sold them for. I'm always a little torn on the idea of, like, what would be the word? Necessarily training. And asked for this quite a bit since we're talking like thousands of high quality models here. Gotcha, I would license it. I'm always a little torn because I'm not sure how, like, you imagine we make like the smartest fucking AI to ever exist. It's like, is it really going to need our, maybe in this short-term era that we live in, but I think like long-term. Anyway, totally different train of thought there. But all right, we're doing super good. Let's give this a shot. Let's give this get this baked. So turn off the curves. Low poly. Low poly. Export to Baker poly. So you work under license company XYZ to train for XYZ project. No limit, unlimited. That's gonna be a fascinating world that we live in. I think I've already looking really closely at Meshi, other 3D generators. I don't know how much polygons will be a part of the future of. Yeah, I'm not sure if we'll even be using 3D models the way we understand them right now. No. Oh, interesting. This floating. No. So close, so far. Okay, let's go back. Low poly. Gonna. That's something. Step. Okay. Oh, I see. I'm pinning. We have these three up here. Should not be doing that. So we're just stacking them one too high. Getting these right off the bat, it's not the issue. Is this square root up? Need to subtract. Statistic. Or do I round? Correct. So now we're building a rectangle. So one of the values must be just generally offset by 1. And we're either grabbing it too soon or it's getting calculated in too soon. But our index starts at 0. The x adds 1 time here. What we do here is when the index, see that line, good. Scale our question is side. That's before I go here. Everything's all right in. Using the new repeat node. I should look into that one. I love the iteration options added. I'm enjoying it. I don't know if still don't have the for each element one. I can't wait for that. That's gonna be super nice. Ooh. Excuse me. Why would we still? This comparison. Square root. In this case, it's 4.5. I'm trying to put all the UV islands down into a square. Two repeat loops? I suppose so. Ooh. In a sense, I am. I'm not sure you can nest repeats in GeoNodes. I think you can. There's nothing stopping it, I believe. something in here. So when we do this comparison here, y, we want to position, but when we're comparing greater than or equal, we want to bullshit. Over here. Alright, so what is this switch saying? First, we get the Y count. We're either stacking too far on the Y, too far on the X. Either way, that is an issue. So what happens is we go, in this case, we're comparing against the square root. I think that we either need a round, definitely need a round. On the square root. Gives us 4. Thinking this through, start at 0. Start at 0. And that's on the first count. Put one at 0, 0. And then on the next one, we put it at 0, 1. And then 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 4. But we're already starting at 0. 0, 1, 2, 3. So this subtracted by 1 right here. Subtract. Apps. Now it goes up. 1, 2, 3. But we're still going over 2. We could scale a different way, which is instead of should be right though. Parts. But this we do 2. What that really does is just switch which side getting pushed out. Some other assumption. Starts. Count up 1, 2, 3. Once we hit 4, basically, go over. Then 1, 2, 3. Or so it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Stacks like that. Can't help remember my coding homework when I look at GeoNodes and it makes me frown. That's what it is. We made room 4. The square root is 4. That's the smallest square root. 4. but we need a round. We subtract 1 here. Actually need it. Or actually, this doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. We just have to add 1. That's it. That should be correct now. Because we're never going to get a perfect... We have a perfect square. Like, if you have... Basically, once... So there's multiple squares, right? You can only have squares with discrete units. You have square of 1, square of 4, square of 3, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're in between 4 and 5, and we're filling that. Can't have any more. Okay. It just looks odd to me, but you can't pack it more efficiently if you're trying to make a square. Gotcha. All right. Viewer. Port. Make. But we now have. Now we've got it. Page. Poly. Poly. I'm not looking forward to Geonodes. It's challenging, it's hard, but it is like the final form. It's the final form. Same. Barely sculpting, so that kind of freaks me out. It's superpowers eventually. What would you sacrifice for superpower? Super duper power. Better. Oh, it's a clip. See much clip. I mean, if we're just doing a solid displace, I don't. I know what's happening. Okay. I've unclicked this again. What I could do eventually too is right now I'm still using curves, but there's no reason I couldn't just use mesh. Well, I need the tilt. Normal still odd. Oddness going on. I haven't seen any yet. I haven't seen it. There are how many There's certainly no. Oh. Your message fails to send. Anyway, for inspiration, perhaps a Geonode hair talk is available. I'll check that out. Yeah, I really need to go and review a lot of those videos. All of them. Oh, of course. Of course. This is the issue, right? And you know what? It's okay. Go ahead. Back together. This messes up my page. Objects are facing the wrong way. But now we're getting UV mapped correctly. So that was the issue. It's because we were doing two sets of UV maps. And they would, of course, overlap because they don't know about each other. Working in the dark there. But I can, instead of from here, I could, of course, just store named attribute, set it to 1. I'll call it flip. On the other side, we'll flip faces if flip equal. Like that. Or figured that would. Why? Because everything's one. Yes, it sets them all 0. So storing a named attribute different. But 12:15. I need to stop in a second, but so why do I? How can I set attribute? I think we. Wait, of course. Oh, I'm just doing it on the wrong thing. Here. I'm doing it on the profile here. I'm flipping the faces of the profile, and that's why they all have the value. Instead, what I want to do, store named attribute. Here and here. Both do flip 0. Flipping. And with no flipping, it's only the mirrored one. Opening. Okay, perfect. There we go. Now we don't have to worry about putting it in its system here. I mean, we might as well flip beforehand before I even. Or no, I don't even need it at all. Right. It's because they remain unrealized until system. Oh well. That reminds me, I should eat, so I will. Happy blending and love the node setup you have going on so far. Thank you, Snardom. Enjoy your day. And I'll be following up with you soon about the merch. I've been really lazy about it. I had to get some information together, but I'll reaching out to you soon. Enjoy your day. In fact, it's a good time for all of us to go ahead and stream. Let me go ahead and get baked first. Like we've got everything. Here's the low poly. There's high poly. Go back, refresh them. That looks wrong. Oh, big. More to figure out, but super close. 1 billion years. Oh yeah. Alright, thank you everyone for hanging out. I do hope you have an amazing rest of your day. I'll catch you all later. Have a good one. Goodbye everyone. Again, I'll be back in 2 hours. 2 hours, so sorry for anyone new here. I'm just going on lunch. I'll be back very soon. Jatter, Coney, see you in a little bit. Everyone else that's lurking, you have an amazing day. Bye. Bye.